Physical media collectors, what is going on? Welcome. This is the Last Format Podcast. I am your host, 4KD Ray. We are coming to you from 4K Studios, and today we got a ton of topics we need to get into. A lot of things about 4K physical media, some of my thoughts, some of my opinions, some of the big announcements. But nonetheless, let's head over to 4K Studios and let's talk about it. 4K collectors, what is going on? It is your boy 4KD Ray. I am coming to you from 4K Studios, and this is episode 1 of the Last Format Podcast. You guys, today we have some great topics to talk about, ranging through the 4K media. Much love to those that still collect VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray, but you guys already know, and if you don't know, you can head over to my YouTube channel, 4KD Ray, where I talk about all things concerning 4K Ultra HD, the last format we have, or is it? Time will tell. But nonetheless, you guys, today we got plenty of topics to get into. So let's get into it. You guys, if you haven't checked out my YouTube, couple weeks ago, I made a video talking about all these great horror titles that are coming over the next month, 2 months. And I feel like this week kind of kicked it all off. Today, well, Tuesday, kind of kicked it off for 4K and the horror titles, you guys. We had some great releases ranging from Fatal Attraction, which isn't really a horror, it's kind of a thriller, but we had Friday the 13th. We had 2 releases of The Fall. You had a slipcover and a steelbook for that, so I know a lot of people love having that. We had a steelbook for the Addams Family as well. So I feel like today was kind of the starting point for what is exploding the horror genre onto 4K over the next month to a month and a half. I think it doesn't really stop and slow down to like the second week of November with the horror releases. So those that are into horror, I know you love this time. Man, your wallets are probably going to need some type of a break. So I hope you're planning accordingly to get those releases. But let's travel back in time. Like I said, I made a little video about all these releases. Now, a lot of these releases are coming from boutique labels. There are some major studios that are releasing some things. We just had, I believe it was Paramount that released the Event Horizon that a lot of people didn't get to get their hands on. Me, I didn't. I would love to have that steelbook at some point. So hopefully we get a re-release. But with so many of these horror titles coming from Shout, Scream, and other boutiques, I feel like there is a great chance that some of these titles are not going to turn out very well. Now, earlier in the year, we already seen some issues with like The Craft and some other 4K transfers that didn't come out very good. They may have needed some replacement disc. Some may not have gotten a replacement disc, and it is what it is with whatever that transfer looks like. But with so many titles on the horizon, I do not feel like many of them will work out 100%. Is there always an issue? Sure. But I feel like there's going to be at least 3 or 4 titles that people are not going to be very happy about for whatever the case, whether it's encode issues, the transfers too dark, audio issues are going to happen. I just feel like it's going to happen. Now, this is my sole opinion. You may not think the same. You may have 100% trust in these boutique labels that these things are going to come out with not many issues, or it may not worry you. I mean, you may just buy it and be like, it is what it is. I got the title I wanted. I'm happy with it regardless. But you guys, we've already seen it. A couple weeks ago, we had Child's Play 1, 2, and 3 coming from Screen Factory. A lot of people bought all 3. I decided to only buy Child's Play 2 because for me, it is the more entertaining one out of that franchise. Part 1, very nostalgic. Of course, I would love to get my hands on 1 and 3 as well, but I decided to just get Part 2. Now, the issue with the Child's Plays, I don't know if it was all 3 of them, but I know people were complaining. Now, it wasn't physical disc issue, but there was an issue with the case. And I know this is not the first time this has occurred. I've heard people say that their cases, there always seems to be like some type of film or something going on inside their case. But this time we had what I like to deem as Greasegate. Now, a lot of people, I've seen a few videos getting posted over on the YouTube platform about this issue, that there was a lot of a greasy substance inside the Child's Play cases that a lot of people ended up having to clean off, because some of them it was a lot, some of them it wasn't much. but we still had grease inside those cases. Some people still had it on their disc, which isn't a problem. It wipes up very easily, but is that something that we want to see occurring on a regular? No, it is not. We shouldn't have to deal with those type of things, but we had it anyway. So that's just one of those issues that I'm talking about that I do believe that we will have over the next month and a half. As I said, you may not feel that way. This is just my thoughts and opinions on all these releases. I feel like it's a lot all at once, and I just don't see how these boutique labels, who are a lot smaller than these major labels like your Universal, Sony, Warner Brothers, I don't see them having the same Q&A, quality assurance, and double checks that these bigger studios have, because they have more money to spend on those things. So sometimes this other stuff slips under the cracks for these smaller studios and boutique labels, that they just get it out there without 100% checking because they just don't have the funding to do so. And I'm not going to use that as an excuse or a crutch for them. I believe that it still should be double checked, because we as the consumer, we're spending a lot of money. You guys already know these boutique labels, whether it's Kino, Vinegar Syndrome, Studio Canal, Scream Shout. This stuff is not cheap. A lot of Scream Factory stuff, especially these 4Ks, are not coming in below $27.99. So if I'm going to spend $27.99, I want to make sure I get everything that you promise and that everything is 100% done correctly. I'll give you maybe 95%, but I don't want to have too many issues, because these disc replacement programs that end up happening, a lot of times it's taken 2 to 3 months for us to get these discs. Am I grateful that we actually get the disc and get them for free? Sometimes we got to jump through hoops to get these discs, but it's good that we're still getting the replacement. But this stuff should have been checked from the beginning. So you got to start at the corporate level. Who is in charge of this stuff? But yeah, that's the first issue. So I'm gonna tell you guys, because I don't want it to sound like I'm just complaining, or I don't want you guys to think, oh, he just doesn't have the money, so he's trying to make a way to say he's not buying it all. No, that is not the case. What it is, I want these things to come out with no issues. I want everyone to be happy with their purchase. We want the best of the best. We want this physical media thing to continue, because as you guys can see, a lot of people are complaining their Best Buy doesn't even have stuff in stock anymore. They're not in the physical media game anymore, so they can't walk into these stores and pick this stuff up. We see the section growing smaller at Target. Walmart is doing the same. They barely have any 4Ks, because DVDs and Blu-ray still are the king of when it comes to selling, but 4K is making its way, and I'm loving to see that these releases are getting announced every day. It's getting super crazy. So I am 100% on board with these titles coming out, but I just feel like it may be too much at once. Because I, for one, have been saying for a couple years now that I've been collecting 4K titles since 2016. And one genre that it was lacking was horror. I would say comedy was also lacking. So maybe we'll start to see that at some point. But horror was definitely not there for the 4K format. It's mostly been action, maybe some thrillers thrown in there, but it's action heavy, and I totally understand why, because you want the best of the best, the big action set pieces, the loud booms, the gunfire, things like that. So you want to showcase all that great stuff. So I'm glad to see that horror is finally making its way to the 4K format. There's quite a few titles that I'm excited to get, which brings us to our next segment, which will be all about what is coming up, because it's not, like I said, it's not stopping. Next week, September 19th, we've got Poltergeist coming to 4K. We've got Crawl coming to 4K at a great price of $19.99. Now, that was one of those movies that totally surprised me. I do have the streaming, so I'm trying to decide, do I want to pick up the 4K? $19.99 is not a bad price, but the king of the week next week, everybody has been super duper excited all year. Even last year, people was like, please, please give us the Lost Boys on 4K. Our wishes came true a couple months ago. We got confirmation that Lost Boys was finally hitting the 4K format. But guess what happened after we found out it was coming to 4K format? Roughly, I'd say maybe 2 weeks, if that, we got the cover art. And what happened? That cover art sent the social media world into a frenzy. Nobody liked the slipcover art or the steelbook art. People were very upset with what we got. Um, it is not the best. I will definitely say that. But the question that needs to be asked, are you guys art collectors or are you movie collectors? And what I mean by that is, are you buying this stuff because you love the artwork more than you actually love the movie? Now, I know there's different reasons why everybody feels like the artwork should look good. But let's be honest. How many of us are really facing out our disc? Not many. I see people do it on their shelf. They might face out and use a plate holder or something for one of the cases that they love the most. But most of the time, what do we do with these movies? We sit them on our shelves, library style, smushed between 100 other 4K or Blu-ray discs. So it's like, how often are you looking at this art to care that much about it anyway? Me, the art comes maybe second or third. I'm gonna say for me, it's movie first, followed by price. Then I decide whether I want the steel book or the slip based on the artwork. But of course, the price is kind of what I gravitate to most. So I beg to ask you guys, what is it that you care about more? Is it really the artwork or is it the movie? But those are the big releases for next week. So let's keep going. Why not? September 26th to be exact. We got Invaders from Mars coming. There's more great releases coming. September 27th, we've got Cloak and Dagger. I Know What You Did Last Summer is coming at another great price. The Amityville Horror will be making its way onto 4K on September 27th as well. We've got the re-release of the Zombieland Double Tap 4K Steelbook. There's tons of re-releases coming September 27th. We just seen it previously. A bunch of steelbooks have come back on shelves again, but they've, for some reason, upped the price. I believe they figure, well, these are the steel books that went away. We saw people on social media complaining and really wanting them. We see the secondhand market. These are going for a very high price over our retail value. So if we re-release it, let's release it at a higher price point because they want it that bad. They'll buy it. But one thing that I've noticed is, a lot of people are upset when they cannot get something on day one or day two, day three. When something is sold out, people are willing to pay a higher ticket price. But after a certain amount of time, it comes to the point where they just don't care anymore. And when some of these re-releases happen, they start to sit on shelves because nobody really cares at that point. It's on to the next title. So sometimes it's not good for studios to try to wait to gauge the audience and see, will they be excited later on if we release them down the line and try to up the price on it, because it can backfire. We've seen it happen. Take a look now at your stores. When stuff like the Terminator 2 re-release, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Dirty Dancing, that stuff is sitting in stores. And if you go into Best Buy right now, you'll see a lot of steelbooks are starting to sit. I remember about a year to a year and a half ago, Steelbooks was king. Steelbooks would sell out day one. People ordering 2 or 3 that's getting shipped to their home because they want to make sure it doesn't have spine slash, doesn't have any dings or anything like that. So Steelbooks were selling out. But now I don't know if it's just people are more into the slip covers. Are they just trying to save a couple extra dollars? Or are they oversaturating the market with these steelbooks? Is it just too many in the store that they're not selling? I know the prices are still great. Lionsgate has a great price point of $19.99, regardless of a lot of these movies being repackaged into a steelbook instead of the typical slipcover that it came with at first. But that price point is great for $19.99 regardless. So a lot of people do upgrade those. But to continue on, you guys, September 27, we also got the Evil Dead 2013 making its way onto 4K. We've got the incredible Melting Man, War of the Worlds, When Worlds Collide. That is also getting re-released. And we've also got Zombieland and Venom coming to 4K re-released. Moving ahead to October 4th, another huge title a lot of people are waiting on. I know I'm super excited for this one as well. October 4th, we've got a few releases. We've got Army of Darkness coming. We've got Fright Night coming. Scream 2, which is also going to get a slipcover or a great steelbook. So you guys, I wonder which one most people will be picking up for that one. We've also got Bram Stoker's Dracula. Night of the Living Dead is coming from Criterion. Fun fact, that is the first movie I ever went in stores and purchased VHS Night of the Living Dead. So I do think that may be a day one. It'd actually be the second Criterion I ever have in my collection. So I am excited about that one. I hope it turns out very well. I do not have an OLED TV, so I know it's not going to take great advantage of the black and white, but I'm still excited to see it. And then we got a great box set coming. I know a lot of people decided to pre-order on this one, but the Halloween 4K collection is coming. That is a 3-movie box set, which includes Halloween, Halloween H2O, Halloween Resurrection. I'm sorry, Halloween The Curse of Michael Myers, Halloween H2O, and Halloween Resurrection. Now the price point on that one is extremely high in my opinion. You guys can spend your money how you want to. I'll spend mine how I want to spend it. But I think for a 3-movie box set that this is just way too high. I believe the price point right now is still like $105, which isn't bad. I believe when it first got introduced for pre-order, it was looking like it was around $120 to $130. I believe a fair price point for this box set is somewhere around $60 to $80. Now, I know a lot of people was going crazy when we first saw this box set. We only saw the box. We didn't see the individual movies. We knew which movies it contained, but we didn't see the artwork and the slip cases. So everybody wanted to know, did it match the original set that came out over a year ago? So yes, we do have the leaves on this one. I don't think they look as good as the previous set of movies that came out, but do they kind of match? Yes, they do. They still got that fall color pattern with the orange, your blacks, your whites, your grays. So it's totally fine. But I know a lot of people are complaining that, the worst movie, Halloween Resurrection, has the most special features coming. But that is another question that, we can talk about on a later episode is, how many special features do you guys actually watch? Because I hear a lot of people asking, what's the special features? What's special features? But I never hear anybody talk about these special features. So I wonder, do you guys really watch that? Because I'm going to be honest, the last movie I watched a special feature on was Scarface. I picked that up day one, watched it day one, and I actually sat down and watched the panel they had with the actors up there. I enjoyed it, but I did not watch special features, so I'll be wondering how much do y'all really, really care about this? Because I hear it brought up plenty of times. But yes, that one is also coming. So another great release. But I do see that box set going down for a much cheaper price in the future. So you guys keep looking out for that. I would say do not pre-order it just yet. I believe by the time it comes out or anytime thereafter, we're going to start seeing that box set go down to at least $79.99. And I would say that's the point to really start thinking about pulling the trigger. But just keep jumping ahead. October 11th. Let's see. What do we got coming out? We got The Invisible Man. We've got The Wolf Man. Trancers. Dracula. The Universal Classic Monsters. Icons of Horror are all coming to the 4K format. October 18th, we've got E.T. the Extraterrestrial. I believe there are like 3 different sets that are coming out for that one. Just introduced and announced today, I believe, or late yesterday evening. We had Bodies is coming to 4K on October 18th, courtesy of Lionsgate and A24. And to round out October 18th, we've got The Return of the Living Dead. I know that's on a lot of people's list as well. October 24th, we've got Videodrome coming to 4K. October 25th, we got Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. Nope is making its way out of theaters and onto home video 4K Ultra HD. Also, there is a Walmart exclusive for that. Dress to Kill is coming and The Changeling. So let's move over to November 1st because I believe this is where things start to slow down as far as horror titles being released on 4K. We've got Piranha. That's another big name title that I know people are excited about. And we've got an Evil Dead double feature coming as well. So that rounds it out for all those great horror titles that I was just talking about. Now, you guys can let me know. I would love to hear what you think the issues will be. Will there be many issues? Which titles do you think will be worth a day one purchase? Which ones are something that you want to pick up later down the line? Because we already know Black Friday, it's making its way very fast. One of the better times of the year. I know I can't wait. A lot of this year, I have not. I've decided not to pick up things on day one because, for one, I'm seeing that the secondhand markets you can usually find things a lot cheaper if you just wait. Just Tuesday's release, we had Elvis, we had Lightyear. I don't feel like those are two releases that I need day one. Will I love to have them on the shelf? Most certainly, but I'm not looking to pay full price. And good thing I didn't, because on Tuesday around 6 o'clock, Elvis was already going for below $20 on Macari. I've seen it go as low as $17. Granted, it is not going to come with the digital code, which I do not need. I know some people love to have the digital code and the physical disc as well, so that they can have two ways of watching. Me, I can rather go without the digital code for most of my movies, so I would have saved a lot of money there, but I am going to continue to wait for that one to go down at least to about 12 or below for Elvis. I've seen people picking up Lightyear for as low as less than $15 already. It's only been 2 days since this stuff released, and we're already seeing it. So if you do not care about having that digital code, the secondhand sites such as Macari and eBay, your Facebook Marketplace, these are great ways to save some money. You'll save at least $7 to $10 by taking that route as far as collecting. And I definitely encourage it. The whole game for me is all about buying more for less. Everything does not have to be day one. If I decided to buy everything day one, I'm doing a disservice to my own bank account. And then what do I have to look forward to on days like Amazon Prime Day or Black Friday, which is, like I said, right around the corner? What are you going to pick up on Black Friday if you've already got everything on your shelf? Are you just going to start buying anything just because the price is cheap? Or are you going to start doubling up because you feel like you have to buy something? So some of this stuff can just wait. Now, because I know somebody will say, well, if you're not buying most of this stuff day one, you're not really supporting the studio. You're not supporting these stores that are carrying this physical media. So you can't complain when that stuff's not available. But here's the thing. I 100% agree with that. But everything is not day one. These are all opinions. The type of movie I like may not be the same type of movie you like. One may feel like they love Elvis. It was movie of the year for them. They have to have it day one. Me, I want to see Elvis. Do I have to have it day one? No, not at all. Because once I watch it, it's probably going to be who knows how long before I decide, oh, I want to watch Elvis again, regardless of whether I feel like it's a great movie or not. There's great movies on my shelf that I have not watched the second time because I like the movie, but I don't 100% love the movie to watch it over and over. So if it's not a movie that I feel like I have to have day one, I'm certainly going to wait. But there are titles that I just got to have them day one. Now, for me, typically those titles are older catalog titles. When something from the 80s or 90s come out, especially if it's an action title, that's when I'm most excited about new release day. I'm up. I'm ready to make a YouTube. 4K D-Ray is the channel. Please head on over there, subscribe to it, like the content. But yeah, those are what get me excited on Tuesday's new release. When those get announced, I'm super excited. This new stuff that's coming to 4K, if it was just in theaters, I don't feel like I need to have it right away. Now, Top Gun Maverick, that's going to be a different situation because that movie was so great. Yes, I will buy that day one. And it's been in theaters for quite some time now. We're not getting it to like November, December. So that one's totally fine. But a lot of these titles are starting to get 4K releases like way faster than what we used to see a few years ago. We had to wait months for this stuff. Now it feels like this stuff was just in theaters a couple weeks ago, and now we got the 4K or the Blu-ray coming out. So a lot of those new release titles that was just in theaters, I don't feel like they're day one because, one, I just saw the movie. So if I buy it, I know it's going to sit on the shelf still sealed. I'm not going to watch it. So why not wait till I feel like kind of watching it, buy it either still sealed at a lower price or buy it unsealed without the code at a much lower price. I'll take the lower price. I'm sorry. You guys may feel different. You ladies may feel different, but that's just how I collect. And that's what makes us so great as collectors. And I love seeing everyone's collection because it's so different because we all collect in different ways. Some people have to have it all. Some people have to have 100% complete collections of 4K or Blu-ray or steel books. and others just, they only buy what they like, what they feel like they're going to watch. So there's people with 10,000 movies, there's people with 4,000 movies, there's people with 200 movies, and guess what? Everybody's collection is great. Everybody's collection is awesome. As long as you got every title that you want, there's no need to compete with others. There's no need to feel like one person's collection is better than the other, because your collection should be the best collection ever to you. But with that being said, you guys, let's segue our way, because this is the holiday season that is coming up. And you guys, if you've been paying attention, yes, September, October, the beginning of November is all about horror, but November and December is all about Thanksgiving and Christmas. So there are a ton of titles that are being announced for those holidays as well. We've got some great comedy coming, some great holiday movies, family time movies that are coming. So let's go over a few of those. Let's see if we can start in September. Let's see what's coming out this month. As I said, we got some re-releases coming on September 27th. So Jumanji: The Next Level is coming. That's a very fun family movie. Spider-Man: No Way Home is getting a re-release as well. Moving ahead, October 3rd, you've got Thor: Love and Thunder. We already know superheroes are a great family-friendly, fun way of, viewing movies and film. October, we've got DC's League of Super Pets making its way to 4K. October 11th, we got Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. October 18th, as I said, E.T. Extraterrestrial. That's a very good family-friendly movie to check out. We've also got Jurassic World Ultimate Collection coming October 24th, all the way up to November 1st. This is when things really start to heat up for the holiday season, as far as Thanksgiving, Christmas, all those great family moments. We got A Christmas Story, Frosty the Snowman, The Polar Express, Elf, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the original entire Christmas Classics collection, if you just want to buy them all in one box. We've also got Santa Claus is Coming to Town. So all of those will be released November the 1st. So get ready. After you guys finish filling up on horror, get ready for the Christmas. November 8th, we've got Aqua Teen Forever. Maybe not. November 22nd, we've got Rollerball. We've also got Criterion Collection making its way with Disney Pixar products. We've got the release of WALL-E, which a lot of people are super excited about. You guys, I would love to know how everybody feels about this Criterion and Disney kind of working together, and that this catalog is 100% open to usage. And they decided to go with WALL-E for the first movie. Could there have been something else they could have went with? Sure. WALL-E is not a bad choice, and that artwork looks fire flames, I must say. So I know a lot of people will be picking that up on November 22nd. November 28th, we've got Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves coming. So that rounds out our holiday season announcements thus far. You guys, if you would like to know up to the minute announcements on what's being introduced to 4K, if you are on Instagram, please go follow the Disc Father. He is very up to date. So please go give him a follow. Stay up to date, as well as Donna the Disc does an excellent job as well. Or you can utilize bluray.com. They do a great job of getting the news out very, very fast, and stay in those forums with some great people to chat with as well. All right, so before we get out of here, we got a couple more announcements real quick that came over the past 24 hours. We've got 3 new titles that just got announced over the past 24 hours. Kino Lorber will be releasing on November 28th, Escape from Alcatraz onto 4K. On November the 8th, Warner Brothers will be releasing a new 4K restoration of Casablanca. And also on November 8th, Vestron will be coming out with Earth Girls Are Easy on Blu-ray. So look out for those as well. Get your pre-orders in as soon as you can. But nonetheless, you guys, my name is 4KD Ray. This has been episode 1 of the Last Format Podcast. a podcast centered around nothing but 4K UHD physical media. You guys, if you enjoy today's content, please, you can head over to YouTube. Follow me over there. 4K D-Ray is the channel. Subscribe. Give the videos a like. But this has been the Last Format Podcast. I'm your boy 4K D-Ray. Thank you for spending time with me in the 4K studio. Hope you guys enjoy episode number 1. Until the next time, we gone.